Hello! Great to see you today. In this Halloween season, we are reading from the book Inside a House That is Haunted. And look, does it look like a haunted house to you? Why are they running out? I guess we'll have to read the story to find out. This story was written by Elisa Satin Cappuccilli and is illustrated by Ted Arnold. It is a scholastic reader. I love the scholastic readers. It's great that oftentimes you can buy books through your school's book sale, book fair. So here is the house that is haunted. And here is the hand. Let me get back here. That knocked on the door. Outside the haunted house. Here is the hand that knocked on the door. That startled the spider that dropped to the floor. Inside a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that frightened the spider that dropped to the floor. And look, the spider frightened the ghosts, who then called boo! Inside a house that is haunted. Here. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost who then cried, boo! What happened next? What surprised the cat, who jumped and screeched with a meow inside a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost who cried boo, that surprised the cat who jumped and screamed yow, and this shook the bats that swooped through the air inside a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost who then cried boo, that surprised the cat who jumped meow, that startled the bats that then swooped through the air and jolted the owl that then called, who's there? Inside a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that frightened the spider, too, dropped to the floor, and frightened the ghost who cried boo, that surprised the cat who jumped up and screamed meow, that then the bat swooped through the air and jolted the owl who cried, who's there? And it spooked the mummy who ran with a shriek inside a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider, that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost who cried boo, that surprised the cat. The cat jumped up with a screech, meow, and shook those bats everywhere, and they swooped through the air and jolted the owl that called, who's there? That spooked the mummy who ran with a shriek. What we got here? And rattled the skeleton that moved with a creak inside a house that is haunted. Do you see? Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider, that dropped to the floor, that surprised the cat who went scream, meow, that jumped, and when he jumped, the bats went swooping through the air, and that jolted the owl who cried, who's there? And spooked the mummy that ran with a shriek, and rattled the skeleton who moved with a creak, and it woke the monster. Who stomped on huge feet, and he threw open the door, and he heard, what did he hear? That's right, trick or treat. Inside a house that is haunted. See, everybody that got woke up with that is now coming to the door, and all's fine. But look what happens. The little boy removes his mask, and they see a little boy. Do they look happy? How do they look? Scared, right? Let's see what happens next. They all ran out of the house. This is the haunted house. Yeah, they all ran out. Who's not running? Why, the little boy. And there goes the little boy to the next house. I hope you've enjoyed that. Play it again and try to memorize it and say it to your folks with all your actions. Happy Halloween. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. Send me a picture of your costume. Tell me what you did for Halloween or what you're doing to decorate. Enjoy the season. Bye-bye.